Hi there, warm welcome to you. Can you hear me, viewers? Thank you for responding and confirming that no problem with the audio. Let me welcome the participants. Two big news stories for you from Ethiopia and Eritrea. Other three news stories. I'll explain all three in coming after a few minutes, not in coming hours. Pajit Microwave, first viewer who commented, says hello, welcome Pajit. We have Affirmative Fire, FB Cassette Solomon, Yaqub here. Nahom Daniel says, Sajid, why are you so biased? What should I do? I haven't said a word about any topic in the live chat, and he's saying, why are you so biased? Coming with predetermined bias against me without mentioning any of my content, any of my views. He's calling me biased. What should I do? Simon Tesfaye here. He calls me Sajid, Sajido, and Sanjay. He used three names for me, by the way. Yaso joined. Yaso is very close to Guracha, and soon he will start missing Guracha, I think. We have Ethiopia, Bicha, Grad Pattegrenia here. One day, Magagan Chikol joined. Ethio here. Isfaldet Hapte joined. Welcome, Tisfaldet. Elijah Kano joined. Welcome, Elijah. Good to see you. A learned man. We have Sony Xperia as well, a mobile phone. Taha Hadish says, what is the latest news? Can you let us know? Yeah, I'm here to tell you what's the latest news. Just wait. Araya Volde Kidan here. Peace to all. Nice name, by the way. Madsen Tube joined as well. Estikini here. Hikle Goithom joined. Yusuf here. Yusuf watching me since the start of Trigger Eye War says, I really appreciate your top-notch information and your well-thought analysis. Thank you, Yusuf. Your appreciation is the fuel for me. It will keep me going. Mayuddin here. Tivolde Hadira joined. Welcome, Tivolde Hadira. 3G here. Says, I hope you give us your insightful analysis. I'll try my best, dear. We have Tesfaye McConnell. He says, Medicine Tube says Isas will be removed. Well, is it your wish or analysis? Or intelligence-based information? This form here, Sanji Banyak joined. Is from Debre Tabor. Well, I have some updates for you from Debre Tabor, by the way. This is the Solomon, DW Ethiopia, Shishe joined, Makar, Gamecho joined, Dilhas. Well, I think I remember this name, Dilhas, not new, but seeing for the first time in live chat. East Afro dude here, Gitane, Hewat, DSG, first member who joined tonight's live is DSG. Welcome, DSG. Good to see you. You are back in the chat after a long time. Special welcome to you. Ace Ventura here, Africa Star, Fair Now, Mindfulness, Asfa, Ebenet, Seek Peace, Ibato, Hinok TV, Skandarevat, Asher, Hinok TV, H. Bata, Amane Kamsare, Eddie Shakur here. TE Meda. Well, I think we have a poor internet connection tonight. Daniel K says, could you start? Yes, I can start. Why can't I? Let's start from Ethiopia. Viewers, first news story is from Ethiopia. Update for you rather. Can you hear me? I'm back. I think internet working fine now. Okay. First news story from Ethiopia. Update for you from the Amhara region. You know what happened in Amhara on Wednesday when Fano swept across parts of South Gondar. Fano entered key towns in South Gondar. And I said we will share updates and follow up with you to know Fano strategy. And I said that Fano will try to make international headlines because AU summit is ongoing in Ethiopia. And I said that ENDF will try its best to take back key towns in South Gondar. In last night's live chat, I mentioned that Debre Tabor had come under Fano's control. I mentioned Nifas Micha, that it had come under Fano's control. I mentioned some other towns too in last night's live chat. So, what happened? What is the latest situation? What happened today? By the way, Fano took 3 days to take control of Debre Tabor. Military and Fano fought for 3 days, but ultimately, yesterday, Fano controlled Debre Tabor. What happened after that? Well, today I got an update from the area, and uh, around noon, uh, I got an update. There was no Fano in Debre Tabor at around 1 p.m., 2 p.m. today, Thursday. That's what I confirmed. It's not that there is a presence of Fano in any part of Debre Tabor. Rather, Fano groups fully retreated from Debre Tabor. They retreated or they withdrew or they were forced to withdraw, but there is no Fano in Debre Tabor today. Firstly. Secondly, Fano groups say that they have achieved their objectives and they attacked all no Skandar. Fano was there in Debre Tabor yesterday. People were just jumping to conclusions. Fano was there in Debre Tabor yesterday. Fano group stormed government offices. They stormed government properties. And what is being reported is that Fano seized large amounts of cash and valuables in Debre Tabor reportedly, worth millions reportedly. Property damage being reported, both sides accusing each other. Military managed to take back Debre Tabor, but it is accusing Fano that Fano people burned houses, burned government buildings, while Fano groups are accusing the government that government forces bombarded Debre Tabor through drone strikes. But property damage in Debre Tabor is being confirmed. After I confirmed Fano's retreat from Debre Tabor, then I tried to confirm Fano's withdrawal from Nifas Mecha. Uh, Again, same situation in Nifas Mecha too. There is no Fano in Nifas Mecha today. I got a confirmation around noon today. Just like they withdrew from Debre Tabor, they withdrew from Nifas Mecha. By the way, in Nifas Mecha, if you remember, they held meetings with locals. They tried to establish a local government, administrative setup in Nifas Mecha. Both Nifas Mecha and Debre Tabor are situated along the main road, Vuldia to Varata road. And military obviously did not want the two towns to remain under Fano's control. Why? Because Fano's entry in Debre Tabor made headlines. Had Fano managed to take more towns, it would have been a big news on international level, which Ethiopian government cannot afford now, keeping in view that African Union summit is being held in Ethiopia. Heads of system will be held on the 14th and 15th of February. Lower level meetings already underway. So military received reinforcements. It launched counterattacks and new attacks and pushed Fano out of two main towns in South Gondar, Nefas Mecha and Debre Tabor. No, Skandareva, they have withdrawn. By the way, in uh, Debre Tabor, what I have learned is that a former Fano commander, fought uh, against his past comrades. Sidalo Dasi, I think, is the name of the man. He surrendered to government forces a few months ago, I think. We saw pictures of the man, and the people I talked to, they confirmed to me that Sidalo Dasi fought on the side of Ethiopian National Defense Force against Fano fighters in Debre Tabor. It means that other Fano commanders who are surrendering, like Masrisha, like Colonel Fantahun, and others. Welcome, Brian Ibsa. Brian is a member. Special welcome to you, Brian. Other Fano commanders and fighters who are surrendering, I think, by Prosperity Party, by Ethiopian National Defense Force against Fano in the Amhara region. Skandarevat, well, my information is that they're not in Nifas Micha. You're saying they're there. So let's see. We'll share an update from there. We'll see. You can contact me through my Gmail, sajid67200. We can exchange our information. Let's see who is telling the truth. You people have more contacts. You know the local language. You have relatives. You have friends. I have sources. I could be wrong. I am ready to make corrections. You should also be ready. Let's see. So, government is launching Fano commanders against their past comrades. Sidal Udasi fought in Debre Tabor, being confirmed to me. Second news story is very interesting from Eritrea and partly from Ethiopia too. Just wait for a few minutes and then I'll speak. Ayana says, writing a comment 5 times does not make it true. Yeah, I agree. Thank you, Skandar. We must ensure that reporting is correct. People should be fully updated, and they should have access to correct information. That's what my job is. Ginny Musica joined. Welcome, Ginny. Ginny is also a member. Special welcome to you. If you want to be a member of My Views and News, link is given in description section of the live chat or about section of the channel too. It contains the link. Yakub says, did Fano, do you believe Fano achieved its objective? Well, they are keeping the governments, regional, zonal, uh, alert. They are creating panic. They are telling the local governments cannot just have their way and they have to implement Fano's instructions. So yes, they have not been able to control territories, no doubt about that. They cannot transition from uh, guerrilla war to traditional conventional war if they don't control territories. They could not do that, but at least they have exposed Ethiopian National Defense Force too. For 3 days, they fought in Debre Tabor. ENDF could not defend Debre Tabor. They stormed the prison there. They stormed all government offices. PP officials fled. Some hid themselves. ENDF fled. So they proved that they are a force to be reckoned with in the Amhara region. Then military got reinforcements. They launched new attacks, and ultimately Fano withdrew. And I think they don't want to take responsibility of providing services to the people. If they become the government in Debre Tabor and Fosmicha, they'll be responsible to provide housing, to provide food, to provide electricity, to provide everything to people. They don't want to take the responsibility, I think. Ayale says, how Fano can have support of people while killing people. Kahso says, I always run to your reports when something happens. Keep it up. Thank you. Muhammad Amin says, could you answer my question? Which question, Amin? Welcome, Alim. Alim join. Alim says, when drones show up over Addis, that's when they are willing to negotiate. Air power is critical. Well, I heard about drones and helicopters being seen over Addis Ababa. I think that it's linked to AU summit. It's a very high profile event. Obviously, security is tight. Foolproof security must be made. I don't think that there's any big development happening in Addis in terms of any military moves. It's related to AU summit, I think. Let me share the second piece of information with you. News from Eritrea, and it's from Ethiopia too. Uh, it's a story which is from both Eritrea and Ethiopia. Let me speak for a few minutes. I'll explain this second piece of information for you. You know that Saudi Foreign Minister Faisal bin Farhan arrived in Ethiopia yesterday. He met with the Ethiopian Prime Minister. Some parallel developments have also been happening in Eritrea. Before that, what I have learned from Addis Ababa is that the meeting between Ethiopian and Saudi leaders did not go well. It's hardly surprising, by the way. What Saudi Arabia wants from Abiy cannot be given by Abiy to Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia wants Abiy to relinquish Ethiopian support for RSF. Saudi Arabia wants Abiy to cut off links with UAE. Saudi Arabia wants Ethiopian soil not used by UAE. UAE is all-weather friend for Ethiopia because during Tigray war, when Tigray forces were saying there was no one between them and Addis Ababa, it was UAE's support which changed the battlefield balance in favor of ENDF. Ethiopia bought Iranian drones back then, did not work. When Chinese wing-long drones and Turkish drones were launched, that changed the battlefield balance. And UAE is more reliable for Abiy than Saudi Arabia. That is why Faisal bin Farhan's meeting with Abiy did not go well, reportedly. Hardly surprising, because from Ethiopian territory, new offensive on Sudan's military has been launched. I don't think Abiy will back off now. When this offensive was being launched, when training camps were being established on Ethiopian territory for RSF in Benishangul Gumuz, we made videos about it. International community knew about it. Ethiopia weighed all the risks, all the pros and cons, and it stood with the UAE. Just the visit of Saudi foreign minister cannot convince Abiy to withdraw support for the UAE. Yes, Saudi Arabia can intimidate Ethiopia. Saudi Arabia can make offers to Ethiopia. Saudi Arabia can offer investment worth billions of dollars in Ethiopia. Saudi Arabia can threaten Ethiopia by supporting Egypt, by supporting Eritrea, etc. But what I have learned from Addis is that Saudi Ethiopian leaders meeting did not go well. Firstly. Secondly, reportedly, a senior Saudi delegation has arrived in Asmara. The delegation arrived today, reportedly. It is led by Saudi deputy foreign minister. I think Walid is his name. Walid Al Khariji is his name. He is leading the delegation. Abiy's meeting with Faisal bin Farhan happened yesterday. No breakthrough. And after that, the Saudi deputy foreign minister with a delegation landed in Asmara. Is the visit of Saudi high-level delegation to Asmara is linked to the developments in Addis Ababa? It seems that Saudis, if Saudis don't succeed in pressurizing Abiy, what will happen? Well, it means that Saudis will try to coerce Abiy. They will try to activate their assets and their friends in the region to pressurize Ethiopia. They can activate their partners in Sudan, Al Burhan. They can increase their support for Egypt. Perhaps they cannot influence Americans because Guraja, I spoke for almost 10 minutes about the withdrawal of or retreat of Fano from Nefas Mecha and Debre. If Saudis cannot successfully pressurize Abiy, they will definitely activate their friendly countries in the region. Uh, Sudanese Al Burhan, one of them. Egypt, which has its own grievances against Ethiopia, second one. Americans won't be influenced because the UAE is also a key American ally. Saudis won't be able, I think, to influence Americans to use them against the Ethiopian government. But the main player for Saudis, I think, will be Eritrea. Al Burhan is not in a position, perhaps, to open a large-scale front against Ethiopian government. Egypt is geographically removed from Ethiopia. It's not close to Ethiopia. It can indirectly intervene. Eritrea's role is crucial. Saudis can use Somalia too, but again, Somalia perhaps won't be able to do anything big, keeping in view that Ethiopia is not pressing the implementation of MOU with Somaliland. So the main player in Saudi efforts to pressurize Ethiopia is going to be Eritrea. That is why a senior Saudi delegation has arrived in Asmara. Eritrea will be tested now. Eritrea always wanted Saudi support. If you remember, Eritrea was not happy with the growing closeness between UAE and Ethiopia. Isaias Afwerki visited Saudi Arabia. He sent a special message for Saudi rulers through his Minister of Foreign Affairs, Usman Saleh. He invited Saudis to invest in Assad. He asked Saudis to play a leading role in running the affairs of Red Sea. Now, I think Saudis are going to tell Isaias that they are ready to play the role and they want Eritrean support. If Isaias listens to Saudis, he might agree to make some moves in border areas. That's an analysis that's not based on intelligence, but the rivalry between Saudis and Emiratis is it's very entrenched sort of rivalry. And Saudis are going to influence Isaias now to implement Saudi agenda. What will Isaias Afwerki do now? Will he agree to put military pressure on Ethiopia? Nathanael, why are you sharing your account number? Who is this man, Nathanael? He's sharing his account number. What's wrong? Oh my God, he's begging for money. Seems to be a scammer. Come on, Nathanael, don't do it. I'll have to ban you. You cannot do that in live chat. It's not allowed by YouTube. So, have you seen the pictures of the meeting between Saudi foreign minister and Ethiopian prime minister. I never saw uh, a Saudi foreign minister sitting the way Faisal bin Farhan was sitting. It was as if he was showing the sole of his shoe to Ethiopian prime minister. Ethiopian PM was also sitting in a way to point his